we're seeing the difference between New Age and old. Okay. For most of people that don't know, wrestling's in a change of eras right now. From the PC era to a New Attitude era. And with this, you have New Attitude represented by Triple H and the new representative, John Laurinaitis, as the PC era. Who's going to win? That's the case. Well, right now, I prefer the New Attitude versus the PC era. It actually made me want to watch. When you get someone that doesn't know what they're doing with the show, you just got to sit there and figure it out. Well, last Monday on Raw, Triple H lost his day-to-day duties to John Laurinaitis for an interim period. Well, this does lead down to the line that we're probably going to have a civil war of sorts. With this, it actually does work. Now, when we sit here and think about it, when everyone comes together and a good storyline comes off, this is what should be done. However, there's a problem with this. With two raging eras that want to go on and on forever, it just doesn't work. John Laurinaitis is given the keys to Raw, and for the first 15 minutes, we have Triple H trying to run a show with 3 superstars. Well, Vince McMahon comes out and hands the keys over. The first match of the night is John Morrison versus Christian. In their street clothes, mind you. In their street clothes. This match is a joke, especially when Christian comes with what most people are calling Team Jackass, which consists of Dolph Ziggler, Swagger, and Cody Rhodes. With this, everything is starting to fall to pieces. John Morrison, prior to that, just said, "You're going to be worse than Triple H is." Well, now we're going to see what's going on and what's going to happen. My thoughts on the Divas match. Rosa Mendez needs to learn how to wrestle. Tamina, she may be second generation wrestler, but she needs to go through her basics again. Eve, if she's developed enough, she could be a decent Divas champion at any time. Kelly is just coming into her own as a wrestler. However, that being said, the Divas that I would want to watch are not currently on the roster right now. I'll have another video on this at a later date. Beware. No one's gonna like me. Poor old JR got fired for the umpteenth time. Due to that, he was considered to be an ingrate. Benedict Arnold and John Laurinaitis did not like him being rehired as a commentator. John Laurinaitis is trying to undo everything Triple H did for the fans. Right now, the fans are the ones getting screwed here. And, here are the mix between Mr. Mumbles, the Canary, and being flushed down the toilet. John Laurinaitis. More on John Laurinaitis later. I think I'll dedicate a video to it. How many times do we have to see Mark Henry versus Randy Orton? I mean, God. You have the 412-pound silverback gorilla versus the apex predator. We saw this on the run-up to Night of Champions. We've seen at the Night of Champions. We've seen the run-up to the Hell in a Cell. We've seen Hell in a Cell. Randy, I think there's a feud coming for you, and it's not with the world title. It's an IC run. Kill Cody Rhodes for me. Please. He's a Laurinaitis suck-ass. I mean, I'm going to stop calling him Laurinaitis. From now on, he's just Johnny Ace. Okay? Now, that we got that out of the way, Randy Orton tried to take it to the next level with Mark Henry, which is good, but it's the same old, same old. It's not what we want. What we want is a feud for Mark Henry. Unfortunately, The Big Show is what we got. The Big Show will test Mark Henry to see if he deserves the title. Unlike the Schlag Daddy and Schmokey, who want to see Mark Henry carry it all the way to WrestleMania, I don't see it. In fact, I don't see him carrying it to the Royal Rumble. At the Royal Rumble, I think he's going to get his ass kicked. I do see him taking it through Survivor Series and through New Year's Revolution. However, when it comes to Royal Rumble, I think someone's coming out of retirement and will promptly kick his ass. Do we know who that is? He's the Dead Man. What in the hell? I thought we got rid of Miz and R-Truth. I mean, come on. These two were going nowhere. Even in the tag team divisions, they might make a decent run of it. But we all know that they're saving the tag belts for Ziggler and Swagger. So, the rehiring of these guys was just to get at Triple H's craw again. Right now, these guys are not what's needed in the WWE. If hell, when we get to the later sections, I'll tell you what I'd do if I was GM. Right now, Miz and R-Truth are mid-carders at best, jobbers at worst. And the only thing you can do with them is basically throw them in the tag team division. Hopefully something sticks to the wall. And hopefully the team of Suck actually stays up to their word and actually get something done. Miz, if he was to separate himself from R-Truth, could possibly run for an IC run or a U.S. title match, but I don't see it in the near future. Now, I'm not even going to go into the Punk Del Rio match, since Mr. Johnny Ace decided that with his gruff voice that he would change the match for Punk and Del Rio versus Awesome Truth. Ouch, that makes my voice hurt. Can you imagine listening to him for the next year? I prefer nails on a chalkboard. Well, the Punk and Del Rio match with Awesome Truth was part of the storyline. Well, it looks like Punk and Del Rio can work together. Well, that's when Del Rio feigns injury and being helped out by his real-life brother. I mean, come on, I'm going to break kayfabe here. The only reason Roberto Rodriguez has the announcing job is because Alberto Del Rio, his real name is Alberto Rodriguez. It's his brother. The Awesome Truth, therefore, starts beating the holy hell out of CM Punk. Laurinaitis and Punk have never gotten along, and at this point in time, they will never get along. CM Punk will be firmly planted in the Triple H camp because he loves it. Now, Aftermath of Raw, that's next, folks. This Raw's Aftermath has been pretty good. However, the backlash of this will probably resonate to the pay-per-view, which seems to suck anyway. If I was paying for this, I would have shot Johnny Ace to begin with. The Aftermath of Raw is basically you're having sides divided up. You have Triple H versus John Laurinaitis, and it's a clash of two ways WWE could go. Preferably, if it goes the PC route, I may say F the WWE altogether. Out of a quarter century of watching WWE, I think I've had enough. And I'll probably go to TNA, ROH, or I'll go back to New Japan Wrestling to watch my wrestling again. The final grade for Raw. Well, the first 15 minutes were very creative and very hilarious. I actually enjoyed it. Well, when Vinnie Mac gave it to Johnny Ace, it started to suck badly. The last 15 minutes of Raw is great. The first 15 minutes of Raw was great. Everything in between really sucked. For this, I give Raw an F minus, due to major deductions of 1, seeing Johnny Ace for more than 15 minutes in a shot, 2, the rehiring of R-Truth and The Miz, the Awesome Truth, the firing of Jim Ross when they should have fired Michael Cole, that would have been a shocker, and a point for horrendous storyline. The only thing that saved Raw was the Triple H parts of the show. Excuse me, he is God. Hello, what else do you want? A brownie button, Johnny Ace? Because so far, you rank 3 thumbs up the ass.